Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, I'm starting to feel in the mood for Halloween, and I got the perfect suggestion. Let's check it out.
My name is Olivia, and my idea is for a Halloween planet, and everyone's dressed up in costumes, and you find a costume by the dumpster and you put it on so you look like the other costume people. Bye, I love your podcast.
Great idea from Olivia there. And, of course, I had to come up with some other ideas for the planet myself. And I think I went a little crazy because I'm thinking that anyone who wears a costume on this planet actually, gets the powers of that costume, of course. Now, if you like the podcast, don't forget to rate it and review it. 5-star reviews especially help others find the podcast who might like it too. And if you want to go that extra step to support the podcast, for as little as $1 per month, you can become a Patreon sponsor, where you get an ad-free feed along with any bonus episodes I create. Plus, you just get the joy of supporting the podcast. And speaking of Patreon sponsors, I want to give a big thank you to Elliot, Evelyn, and Martin for becoming my latest Patreon sponsors, as well as Marin, Hunter, and Anderson. Now, time for the story. Get as comfortable as you can in that bed, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. You wake up on Spaceship, as you often do. You get out of bed, stretch your arms and legs, and walk through the automatic opening metal doors. You enter into the main part of the ship, the part that has a little bit of everything you need. A living room, kitchen, little library area, sports and playing zone, as well as the command center. You walk up towards the command center, a large screen that looks out onto space and beyond, along with 2 very comfortable-looking command chairs. You notice that the screen is currently displaying an interesting-looking planet, one that looks a lot like Earth, only it has sort of an orangey glow to it. What's that? You ask. Oh, good morning, Spaceship replies. I have found an extremely interesting planet. My robotic scouts have indicated that all of the inhabitants of this planet seem to wear different costumes, and somehow actually seem to have the abilities or powers of those costumes. What? You say, displaying now. On the display, a whole bunch of pictures or videos begin to appear. Videos of people flying around on brooms, dressed like witches. Videos of people wearing superhero costumes, flying all over the place, shooting lightning. People dressed as robots. People dressed as ghosts who can sort of phase through buildings. People dressed as skeletons, just running around and having a jolly good time of things. Basically, it looks like Halloween taken to an extreme. On top of that, every single one of them seems to have a bag full of candy. That's amazing, you say. Would you like to explore the planet? Spaceship asks. Obviously, you respond, setting course. Spaceship flies down through the planet's atmosphere. It dips below the clouds and down towards one of the central continents. As you fly, people flying on brooms pass by you, as well as one guy with a gigantic hammer who seemed to be surrounded by lightning. When you get closer to the ground, you see a large village or a city appear below. It looks like any city you would imagine, only it's decorated like Halloween. And in addition to buildings, there's also giant pumpkins everywhere. The closer you get, the more amazing things you see. Superheroes, witches, skeletons, ghosts, people dressed in giant mechanical suits, people who look a lot like aliens, very stereotypical aliens, mind you. The whole thing looks like, well, it looks like what would happen if Halloween costumes were real. Spaceship floats down and lands softly in the town square. The back hatch opens up, and you walk outside. Strangely, people don't really seem to notice you at all. It's as if a spaceship landing in the center of the town is as normal as anything else. And, I guess in a town where everyone's flying around on a broomstick, it's probably not really all that out of the ordinary. One person, however, does come over to meet you. Noticing your spaceship, she floats over atop her broomstick and lands on the ground beside you. "Hi," she says. "My name's Olivia. What's yours?" You answer with your name. "Oh, that's a great name. Are you like some sort of astronaut or something? I don't really see a costume, but you do have a spaceship." "Oh, I don't really have a costume. This is actually just my spaceship," you respond. "What? That's so weird." I guess so. Where am I anyways? What is this place, and why does everyone seem to have some sort of superpower?" you ask. "Oh, this is the Halloween planet, and you're in Halloween Town, the capital of the planet." "Hey, are you from Earth?" she asks. Yes. You know what Earth is?" you respond. "Of course I know what Earth is. Everyone here was originally from Earth." "Really?" you say. "Really," she says. "You see, Halloween Town and, well, the Halloween planet were discovered a long time ago. The first kid who ever came, one Halloween, he dressed up as an astronaut. But he didn't just dress up. He, fully believed he was an astronaut. He built himself a spaceship out of cardboard and jumped inside. To his surprise, when he imagined it flying away, the thing sort of, came to life, and it actually flew away, out into outer space where he explored the universe for a long time. Eventually, he found this planet. When he got bored of playing astronaut, he started to try on other costumes too. No matter what costume he wore, he truly became that thing. He dressed up as a construction worker and he built a house, along with a whole infrastructure. Then, he dressed up as a mad scientist and started to invent things, including a portal. A portal that led back to Earth. One that would activate for anyone who had the true spirit of Halloween. Those who didn't just wear their costumes, but became their costumes. Slowly, people started to arrive, and costume by costume, they began to build this place. And look at it. You look around at all of the buildings. The water fountain that seems to be shooting out soda of all different kinds. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Well, it's the power of imagination. People would just imagine themselves in different roles, put on the costume, and get to building. Dress up as a construction worker, you can build a building in mere hours. One of the first things they created was the candy factory. Right over there. You look over at the candy factory. It's completely automated. I'm pretty sure people dressed up as scientists and, engineers and just sort of built all of the things they'd need. The result is all you can eat candy and all you can drink soda. And if that wasn't enough, the people who dressed up as wizards and witches or, magical people of all kinds started to make some fantastical stuff too. Plants and trees that grow chocolate bars and food. Candy that grows out of the ground. The surrounding fields from this place are pretty much completely edible. That's amazing, you respond. Are you always a witch? You ask. Oh, no, I just felt like being one today because flying around on a broomstick is super fun. But honestly, you can be anything on this planet. All you have to do is put on a costume and fully believe. Speaking of which, your costume is kind of lacking. Yeah, I guess it is. Come with me. I know where there's some discarded costumes, Olivia says. She hops back on the broomstick and floats up into the air. Oh yeah, you probably need a way to follow. She pulls out a magic wand, waves it around in the air, and flicks it towards you. A blast of sparkling energy hits you, and you suddenly start to float up into the air. Olivia flies over across the town square to a number of large dumpsters. This is the garbage area. You'd be surprised to see how many people like to dress up as garbage collectors around here. It's pretty crazy, but they do have really cool cars they get to drive. Here. This bin, I think, is entirely full of costumes people were tired with. You flip open the lid to the bin and look inside. Sure enough, it's entirely filled with costumes. You start to look through them. Ninja, witch, ghost, superhero. You grab a hold of the superhero costume, a red and blue costume with a cape. And you wonder what it would be like to be a superhero. Super strength, super speed. By the looks of this thing, probably flight too. You quickly hop inside the superhero costume. It snugs itself up and forms to your body. And suddenly, a wave of power passes through your arms and your legs. Your muscles grow and bulge until you feel like you could pick up one of the dumpsters and throw it. You bend down and grab a hold of it just to test. And, without any effort at all, you're able to lift it up off of the ground. Cool. You wonder what else the suit can do. You feel like you could run at incredible speeds, so you test it out. You begin to zip forward, and it's as if the world around you slows down as you shoot forward with ease, passing by people, streets, and cars with a simple step forward. You zip to the other end of town and then back to the dumpsters. This is amazing. Next, you decide to see if you can fly. You close your eyes, spread your arms apart, and imagine yourself floating up off of the ground. Sure enough, you do just that. You float up higher and higher until you find yourself floating in the air directly beside Olivia. Wow, that's the spirit. You figured it out right away. Now, let's go on a candy hunt, she says. Here, you'll need this. She throws you a large, empty pillow sack, and you begin zipping around the town, flying over top of buildings, through alleyways, until you eventually find a secret stash of candy. There's candy hidden all over the place here. The robots hide it and move it every day just to keep things interesting. You continue to fly around, searching for secret caches of hidden candy. You find one on a doorstop, one on top of a building, and another one tucked away in one of the trees. You and Olivia start to have a pretty good time of it until a large shadow casts down over top of the Halloween town. You look up to see a gigantic spaceship. Little hatches in the spaceship open up, and robots fly out. They begin to zip around the city, and they begin to collect the candy. They collect the candy from the secret spots. They take the water fountain that shoots out soda, and they even start snatching some of the pillow sacks out of the inhabitants' hands. Suddenly, you feel your pillow sack slip from your fingers as a robot zips up towards the ship, carrying it. Hey, that's my candy, you say. And you're not the only one getting upset. The inhabitants who have just had all of their candy stolen slowly begin to take to the air. Inhabitants dressed as witches, inhabitants dressed as ghosts, and inhabitants dressed as superheroes all float up towards the ship. They stole our candy, one of them says, dressed in a costume that allows him to spark with electricity, and holding a gigantic hammer. We need to stop them. Follow me. The kid dressed up as a superhero swings his hammer around and shoots up towards the spaceship. In a blast of, kinetic and electrical force, he blows a hole in the bottom of the ship. You and the others decide to follow. You find yourselves inside a very high-tech spaceship, guarded and protected by robots. The robots begin to run down the hall, and the people wearing magic costumes begin to defend themselves. Witches swing their wands, casting spells that turn the robots into little piles of goop or freeze them in space. People wearing superhero costumes use their own powers, freezing the robots in place, destroying robots with super strength, blasting them with bolts of electricity or fire. You do your part too, making your way down the corridor and using your super strength to blast the robots into the wall. Slowly, you and the others make your way down the corridor and through the ship, defeating hundreds of robots along the way, until you finally come to a large, very important-looking door. I got this one," you say to everyone else. You flex your muscles once again, run up to the door, and punch it with both hands. The door buckles under your strength and blows straight off of its hinges, or, electronic hinges, or whatever keeps on metal doors. You burst into the large control room, surrounded by all of the other people from the Halloween planet. Standing at the front of the ship is a man dressed as a mad scientist as far as you can tell. Crazy hair that spikes up in all sorts of different directions, a monocle over one eye, and a whole bunch of gadgets in his pocket.
"Wow, so you foiled my plans. This isn't good."
Gary? Is that you?" Olivia says from beside you.
"Yes, it is, Gary."
"Gary, what are you doing? You normally just dress up as a dentist and lecture people on their oral hygiene."
"Yes," says Gary, "that's exactly what I do. But do any of you listen? No, you don't. Just look at your teeth."
You take a second to look around at the people around you and check out their teeth. Honestly, they don't look very good. One kid in a superhero costume is missing most of his. Others have teeth that are entirely black, and others are missing about half of theirs.
"Ugh,"
you say.
"That's right. You just eat candy and drink soda. Most of you don't even brush. I've watched for years. I've attempted to get you to come to my dental practice, but none of you ever listen. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I dressed up one day as a mad scientist, a mad dental scientist, and I created robots. I created this ship in order to stop all of you."
So you became a bad guy to help us? You just want to help us with our teeth? The kid dressed in the superhero costume with lightning and hammer powers, or whatever it is, says.
"That's exactly correct."
Then Gary begins to laugh maniacally and uncontrollably.
Gary, I think it may be time to take off that costume,"
Olivia says, floating over towards Gary.
"What do you mean? I don't need to take off this costume. I'm perfectly fine."
"Come on, Gary. This isn't healthy," she says as she reaches over and grabs a hold of Gary's hair. She slowly pulls off the crazy hair, and Gary almost immediately calms down.
I do feel better."
"That's right, Gary. Now you're just like a normal dental scientist. I don't think putting on the crazy wig and going as a mad scientist was really a good idea."
Yeah. I think you might be right. Once I put on that wig, I just sort of got crazy. I do want you guys to brush your teeth and eat less candy, but, I didn't mean to take over the world or anything. That's okay, Gary, Olivia says. We've all gone a little crazy with the wrong costume on. Now, how about we come to a compromise? Really? You'd do that for me? Gary asks. Of course. What if, twice a year, everyone here agrees to go to your dental practice? And what if, instead of, only candy, we started to grow other food too, using our magic, or maybe even dressing up as farmers and planting it normally? That's a great suggestion, Gary says. Thank you, everyone, and sorry again for trying to take over. I'll keep that wig in a safe place. Slowly, the other people dressed as superheroes, witches, ghosts, leave the gigantic ship. I'll clean up here, Gary says. You and Olivia fly back down the hallway and out through the giant hole blown in the bottom of the ship. As you float outside and look back, the ship starts to fly away, off into the distance. Sorry about that, Olivia says. Sometimes pretending gets a little real and people get carried away. Gary's really been after us for, brushing our teeth and seeing a dentist for a while. I can see that, you respond. And honestly, looking at everyone's teeth, I think you better think about that. Not sure it's actually healthy to eat candy all the time. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, anyways, thanks for visiting. Maybe you'll come back someday? Olivia asks. Maybe, you respond. But for now, I'll see you later. Spaceship, you say into your watch, ready for pickup. Understood. Spaceship responds, and then lifts up off of the ground and floats up beside you in the air. The back hatch opens up, and you float inside. You unzip the superhero costume, and immediately it feels as if your muscles kind of deflate. You take the thing off and hang it up on a series of hooks on the wall. As Spaceship flies up through the clouds and bursts out through the atmosphere, you lay down on the couch, the very comfortable couch. It's been a long day after all. Your eyes slowly close, and you just start to focus on your breath. With each breath, your body relaxes a little bit more, and you begin to sink down into the couch. You let go of any tension in your arms. You let go of any tension in your legs, your shoulders, your neck, your back. And each time you do, you sink down just a little bit more. And slowly, your mind begins to wander off to thoughts of new dreams, new costumes, and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.